As a photographer, you're always looking for ways to improve your photos. And over the past 3 or 4 years, as being a content creator, and especially as being a photographer, I learned that there are 3 easy tips to instantly improve your photography game. So let's get right into them. When you're just starting out as a photographer, it's actually pretty hard for you to give directions because you either feel uncomfortable with them or you just don't know what kind of poses to let your model do. And we can actually pretty easily solve this because when you don't know how to direct to do certain poses and you are not at ease and your model is not at ease, the photos can feel a bit forced. They can actually feel a bit unnatural. Before you actually start taking photos, ask your model to do something. To do some kind of movement, like if it's a girl, a trick that I always use is to let her play with her hair. And that usually gives for a pretty cool photo. Or just let her walk, let her run, just let her do some kind of movement, let her turn around. This will instantly improve your photography. I mean, this is a super easy trick that anyone can use. And it's even easier if there are 2 people that you actually have to shoot. Because you could make them interact with each other, like, I don't know, one person could lean onto the other one, or they could just talk with each other, they could just be spontaneous, and spontaneous photos usually make up for the best photos. Especially in the beginning, if you don't know how to direct properly. Another way we can really easily improve our photos is by using props. Let's say that you have a girl, a model, and she's walking in a city. What you can easily do is to let her buy a Starbucks coffee and just let her walk around with that and let her sip from the coffee. And this will probably make for some pretty cool city shots. Believe me on this one. Or let's say, for example, that you're out with a model and that you're in an open field somewhere, or that you all of a sudden come across a beautiful sunflower. And you can actually use this sunflower as an extra prop to make your videos and your photos much more interesting. We were very lucky to find this sunflower because it added so much dynamic to this video and to these photos. It was just so great. And that's also another thing. Try to find and see what kind of items there are in your environment to actually make your videos better. And you could do this also with sunglasses, or let's say that you want to do a specific lifestyle shoot, then you could also use all these other kind of props like books, camera lenses, laptops, iPads, whatever. There is so much you can use in order to improve your photos. So never forget this. For example, with product photos, you usually take some complementary products that actually tell a story with the product. You see this all the time. I mean, Peter McKinnon has a lot of great videos which explain how you should actually take product photos, and you should make sure that there is balance in your photos where you're adding different kind of props to them. And the third tip that you can do after doing the first and the second one is location. Because you could have the best model in the world, you could have the most crazy and super cool props. If the location sucks, then your photo is probably going to suck as well. Because you should make sure that the location you're shooting at is also complementary to the subject you're shooting. Because let's say that you're actually shooting a car and it has a black color. And you actually had the idea of shooting it against a black wall. This is probably a stupid idea because you're not going to see the details of the car. It would be way smarter to shoot it against a white wall. So always take this into account. And you could even take it a step further if you use, for example, the Adobe Color Wheel. And with this tool, you can actually see which colors are complementary with each other. For example, a lot of people, me included, use teal and orange. And this is because these are complementary colors. They simply just look really good. And try to make sure that you don't fall in love with a specific location. I mean, please make a list of locations you have in mind for future shoots. But like I said, not every subject fits every location. If you have some more tips, comment them down below and I'll be happy to read them. Now implement these 3 tips and elevate your photography instantly.